Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with our new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. Here we are. It is day 50 in the game. We have made it.
Team 50.
That is right. And I think this is going to be hopefully a really exciting next month plus the rest of the season. There are still a lot of players left. We are a couple of days away from the upcoming eviction. And of course, in this video, we'll touch on the campaigns that are going on.
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of that. We also have the latest chapter in the ongoing Keanu Rachel soap opera, which has been one of the most bizarre subplots I have ever seen on this show.
I know. It felt like the other day Rachel was just actually done with it. But no, here we are. We've got gossip.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a theory we'll talk a little bit about with that as well. But beyond all of that, there is something that Kelley has said that was really disappointing for a number of different reasons. Well, before we do any of this, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we, well, for starters, really appreciate all of your support. But also, it's a great way just to make sure you're tapped in to all things Big Brother with us because we are here with daily live feed updates through the rest of the season. And, you know, the great thing about this season is that it's dovetailing right into Survivor 49, which we are also doing. And that's in addition to the upcoming Amazing Race featuring Big Brother players. This is a very fun time for us here.
Absolutely. And by hitting that subscribe button, you really help us here at the channel. And we truly appreciate all the support this season. And if you do want to talk to us about Big Brother further, you can head over to our Patreon. We are having discussions and polls and all kinds of fun stuff going on over there. So I'll leave a link for you below in the description.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your support there. That really does mean the world to us.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's just get into what happened here with Kelley.
Kelley's comments in general have just been super mean. And there's been a lot of like mean girls summer camp stuff going on this summer anyways. You know, Mickey has said some pretty mean things about people away from the game, like I'm gonna embarrass Rachel in front of her family. Kelley has said, you know, oh, I'm gonna make sure that Rachel doesn't get to go home for her anniversary, that she is gonna spend her first night in jury away from her husband. And, you know, now we have Katherine also in here making these comments about Rachel, premenopausal, all of this sort of stuff. And I'm just gonna put this out here because it always really bothers me when younger people are attacking older people for being older, or vice versa. If you're older and you're like, oh, they're young, you know, they don't know anything because they're just, no, that's not okay either. Being young is not an insult, and being older is not an insult. And if she's premenopausal, I don't know. It seems a bit early. Who knows? That's not an insult either. That's just how bodies work. Like, do you not know how bodies work? It's just so weird. This is not an insult.
I really wish that we could just have a double eviction this week and we could get rid of both Kelley.
Both, goodbye.
I'm tired of both of them. And let me make this clear too, because there is this narrative online now that, oh, modern audiences wouldn't be able to handle old school Big Brother. And it's just like, this is really frustrating because we've made it very clear. We love conflict. We love drama. We love people going at each other. But the difference is, and this is why I really enjoy watching Rachel versus Keanu, they're yelling at each other. And it is mostly about game.
Yes.
I don't like the... Number one, you're saying a bunch of things behind someone's back that are personal and you would never say it to their face. And it's just like the way that they go about it, which is really, really cowardly, especially because Rachel has done nothing but try at least to support these other women in the house. This is not Big Brother 12 Rachel all over again here.
Well, and here's the thing too. You can like old school Big Brother. Like I've watched Big Brother since season 1. And yes, season 1 is still part of Big Brother. I know lots of people are like, oh, it doesn't count. They were just trying to figure things out. That is not true. It is absolutely part of the Big Brother 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I really enjoy the, you know, earlier seasons as well, but I have never enjoyed getting really personal and taking things outside the game. Oh, I'm gonna embarrass you in front of your family. I'm gonna, Katherine, I'm gonna make up lies about Rachel to embarrass her in front of her family, her children. It's just like, Do you not know that there are live feeds? You're going to go on here and make up lies about Rachel, but there's live feeds that are showing that what you're saying is a lie. Like, how is this in any way going to work out for you, Katherine? It's just getting, anytime it goes outside the game where people start to
Yeah.
dig into people's lives, I'm not here for it.
Yeah, and this is why I'm so glad that Rachel has somebody like Brendan in her life, because
Yes.
Brendan's going to be there for their kids. He can
Right.
explain everything to them, and Rachel obviously will as well.
Right.
Once she gets on the outside of this, like, it's definitely not her first rodeo in reality television. Like, Katherine, I had wanted to hope that Riley going out of the game was going to be this new lease on life for her in the game, and we would start to see her adapt and play and maybe show some other parts of herself. But instead, it's just been like air slowly being let out of a balloon. It's like we're not getting any of this. And she's still
No.
being really, really personal about what happened with Riley's eviction, like going after Rachel, even though it's really Vince who is the person more responsible in terms of the vote.
Yeah, I have no problem with messy feeds. I love messy feeds. I'm a messy bee, but
Yeah.
it's got to be gameplay. And there is a lot of that is going on in the house.
Yeah.
But when you start to get into like these types of comments about people's families and whatever, I'm out, out,
Yeah.
out, 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 out. Kelley, you can go and you can be followed by Katherine.
Yeah, please. I think so many of us would just be grateful at that point, and we get to keep the people in who are actually willingly playing Big Brother. And, you can play Big Brother and do things sometimes that we don't like, but at the same time be like, okay, you know what? I can respect this. Like, a great example of this is Will having a conversation with Ava where he says to her, a double eviction may be the right time to go after someone like a Rachel. Like, so many of us
Right.
here, we love Rachel and we would love to see Rachel in the game as long as possible, but Will's right. You don't want to go to the end of the game with Rachel because she'll probably win. This is a good time to go after her. And I like knowing that he's actively thinking about the game. And I'll be sad Rachel goes, but I'll understand it.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for her to win this game. I think everyone knows that they can't sit at the end with her. It's just you're not going to win. The only person that might come close is Vince, and I think that she's just going to win. Nobody is going to take her to the end. Nobody's going to let her get that close to the end unless they just can't stop her and she gets on a real roll of winning comps and there's no stopping it.
Yeah, like that feels like the most likely way that she has any chance of this, because one way or another, someone is going to take her out or want to. And
Yes.
this brings us to the latest chapter of, I guess we can call this as the Keanu turns at this point, with this whole saga of him and Rachel, where him turning against Rachel over the past week was really just spawned out of this idea that, oh, I don't think I can beat her at the end because people are telling me this, when it's still like really far from the end. And as you have just said, people will want to take her out before the end. So why are you thinking about this right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. You don't want to go to the end with her. You can't beat her. Absolutely. I don't think anybody can beat her, as I just
No.
said. But like, there's still so much game to be had. And yeah, a good time to get her out is the double. Will's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. Like, I continue to be impressed by Will's thinking. I do think
Yes.
he needs to figure out how to be more active as a player sometimes, but his mind is in the right spot.
Yeah.
Keanu's mind, totally different story here. So, entering today, he's once again had the awareness to know Rachel still isn't talking to me. She basically gave me the entire silent treatment. I want to try to fix this. So, first, his idea is he wants Vince to do damage control for him and have Vince tell Rachel that Keanu never threw her under the bus, and just go ahead and try to blame Morgan for everything, as though Vince is going to want to have one of his top allies in the game go under the bus for Keanu.
Oh my goodness. Listen, if you want that relationship back with Rachel, you need to put in the work. You are a coach, a fitness instructor.
Yes.
Like, have the confidence to go in there and have those talks. I understand that it's really awkward. She's giving you the silent treatment.
Yeah.
That means that you don't go ask Vince to go basically be like, I'm sorry. Can you please forgive him? I'm here in the middle. Everybody's adults. Just go and have the conversation with her.
Yeah, and this just in, Vince did not do any of this for Keanu. And then we go
No.
to this afternoon where Keanu and Rachel are in the gym together. They have a little bit of alone time. And now, of course, here we go. The conversation gets heated almost right away because Keanu knows what's up here. Rachel knows that, she's been lied to by Keanu
Yes.
yet again as Keanu starts to get on the defensive when she's calling him out on some of his lies. Like, he starts to try to go into this. Morgan said all of this stuff. It's Morgan's fault. Morgan is saying blah, 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 blah. But Rachel knows that it's not Morgan's fault because Vince literally said to her the same words that she and Keanu talked about previously. So it was a very easy trail of breadcrumbs for Rachel to follow here.
No, he just needed to come clean and be like, you know what? I said these things. I shouldn't have said these things. I thought that this is where I was going with my game. I made a huge mistake and
Yep.
I would like to fix it. How do I fix it? That's how you start something like that. You
Yep.
just need to come clean and be like, how do I fix this?
And I think the problem for Keanu in this very bizarre relationship is that
It's one of the weirdest relationships I've seen on the show in all these years.
I know, and I can't help but get drawn back into it. It's just like this weird vacuum
Yeah.
of despair where it's just like, I don't know if this is good for either one of your games, but you continue to have these talks. And it's this situation where at first, Keanu will be as defensive as humanly possible. And, Rachel will bring up, okay, if Morgan's responsible for this, why are you not laying into Morgan? And Keanu
Right.
will sort of be like, well, I have to play really, really nice because she's the number one ally of my number two ally, who is Vince. And he'll come up with all these excuses that Rachel just doesn't believe. And eventually he'll start to kind of leak out like something that kind of resembles the truth, but it takes a long time to get there.
It does take a long time to get there. And I understand it's not always easy to say the things that he has said and then go to that person and be like, oh, listen, this is what I've done. But you can find a way to softball that stuff so that you're still telling the truth, but you're, softening it out a bit. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't Rachel from back in season 12. She is
No.
going to listen and she will, see if she's okay with it. It's just so much stuff has happened at this point
Yeah.
that if I was Rachel, you need to just run away from this.
Yeah.
You are working with the judges, at least right now. This could be something. It could get you further in the game right now. He is a lost cause.
He really, really is. And I think it all does beg this question of, okay, why do you still want to try to help him, Rachel? Like, she's saying things today to him.
It's the mom in her.
I think it's the mom in her. And I think it's also this idea of, and this is something, not to turn this into a Survivor discussion, but this is something that I've heard Parvati say in the past, which is this idea of, if you are a really, really enormous target, or in this case, like Rachel, a former winner, you really can't say no to anybody who's got the guts to say to you, I want to go to the final two to you because
Yeah.
with you. Because like some people are so afraid of you, they don't even want to say those words, whether it's fear of getting thrown under the bus. And because Keanu has said this, and whether or not we really believe it, entirely different story. But I think because he has said something to her that not a lot of other people have said, I think she just is clinging to this idea because I think she also just feels like, okay, I know this is a delusional player, and if I can just reel him in, like maybe he will be delusional for me.
And she's being delusional to herself. Like, all the truth has been laid out in
Yep.
front of her throughout all these conversations. And every single time she has said something, it has gone back to Vince. She has been able to hear it come back again. And it has happened so many times. It's just like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Oh my God, why are you going to do that? It's so mean. Like, you can't act like that. You have to, like, actually see what's happening to you.
And I think she's also just stuck on this idea that I say things that are logical and I expect him to understand them logically. Like this idea she told him today, where it's just like, you do know that Vince and Morgan are always going to choose each other over Vince choosing you, right? Like, it's obvious to everyone out here. Like, it should be obvious to Keanu because Vince has lied to him so many times that they had to have a Vince pity party / Keanu coaching party yesterday so Keanu could get sucked back in again. It's just like any normal person would understand this and be like, you know what, Rachel, you're right. But okay, here's the good news. And I say this, I'm going to whisper, here's the good news. I think Keanu might have had some of this actually seep into his skull today.
Oh my God. I feel like we have had so many of these videos where we have said this and it is
Oh.
never true. I'm just putting on my hard hat and just buckling up because
See-
this is not real. Like nothing ever sticks with him. Whoever is the last person has had a conversation with him is the person that's in his mind.
Okay, here's the reality of this situation.
I love him though.
It's the thing. I took the stand card from him yesterday. I'm already
I
kind of
can't
like, can
help
I have the stand card back
I
now?
can't help it. He's so messy and he's
Yeah.
so entertaining. He has kept these feeds lively.
It's really funny because last year, and I've been a soda addict my entire life. I one of the reasons I've lost a lot of weight is because I gave up soda. But it's just I was able
Nice.
to quit soda, but I'm not able to quit Keanu, and I don't know why. But it's just like you are being very realistic about the outcome here, and I think you are looking at this situation the right way. I think I might have a little bit of Keanu delusion in me because it's just like I want to believe so badly because it's like after this conversation ends, like, Keanu starts talking to himself a little bit and he's starting to say things kind of like, maybe she could be an advocate in jury. Like maybe she is someone who would help me potentially end up winning. Like he even gave who he would nominate if he was the next HOH. And it's like, oh, I nominate Mickey, Morgan, Ashley. Like, to be fair, Keanu has also said in the past that it's like he wanted Rachel to go, but he didn't want to be the person to put her up directly. So maybe that's still a thing.
Yeah, and I agree in that way for him. He's very nervous about losing that relationship, and he does think that if she goes to jury, that either she's going to poison the well against him or she's going to be an advocate for him, as he's thinking now, and could have a lot of influence. And the weirdest thing about this, and I can't believe I'm saying this, she just doesn't have that kind of influence this season. Oh my God, my heart hat is on.
Okay, I'm putting mine on now.
She normally does, but because like it has been a very weird season because of the people she's playing with, and that's kind of part of the problem. Like
Yeah.
she has some influence, of course. She's Rachel Riley, but because of the people that are in the house, there's lots of recruits. There's lots of people. Riley didn't even know what the veto really was until like week 3.
I know.
Like there's a lot of people that just don't understand what is going on or don't understand the game or just kind of like, oh, I don't know, through the whole game. That she is stuck in a place where being influential with a bunch of people that don't really understand what's going on with the game or the way to play the game, it doesn't really work. Like the person
Yeah.
who is the most influential, and you guys are not going to like it, but I don't care because I'm still a Vince fan, is Vince.
You're not, people may not like it, but you're not wrong. Because I mean, the reality of the situation here is that we have seen in the last 24 hours, Vince managed to sort of lure back people like Keanu
Yes.
or Lauren, people who
Yes.
have no business trusting him again. Like
Right.
the funniest thing to me about this whole ordeal is that Keanu automatically assumes that Rachel would be an advocate for him. Like I know we don't know how Rachel would vote. Like one of the most bizarre things Rachel has said this season is that she's afraid of going to the end with Keanu because he's a comp beast. Like I don't think anybody's voting for Keanu if he's in the final 2 just because like he doesn't know anything about the game.
No, the problem is that I just don't think that he's going to end up actually bringing her. If they were all at the end, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I won. Who am I bringing? It's not Rachel." And that's kind of the problem that she's in. Is she needs to be there without someone who's a compy so that she can win.
Okay, well, that is the latest chapter in all this. I'm going to believe here. Yeah, I'm a little delusional about this, but I also still want to believe that Rachel in her heart knows, okay, you know what? I just have to indulge this relationship. I don't trust it anymore, but I have to indulge it. And hopefully that's what's going on.
I mean, you always kind of have to. It's like if somebody comes to you, let's be in a final 2. The
Yes.
answer's always yes. You're not going to be like, you know what? I don't like you. We're not working together. It's always just yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we'll get back to the rest of Kelly's campaign here with Vince.
Do we
because-
have to?
Yes, we. You know why we
Alright.
have to? Because Katherine and Ava are doing squat at this moment, and I will be more mad about it tomorrow. Like it's Tuesday. I know you still have a little bit of time,
you're
but
fine.
they haven't really done that much.
I'm not too surprised that Ava is not really campaigning in general. I mean, there are two other people that are up that are seemingly bigger targets than her.
Yeah, like
She
Ava,
still should campaign. I don't like it when people don't campaign,
no,
but it's only Tuesday.
yeah, like I feel like more than likely she will do something, but it's just the way that Kelley campaigns, beyond everything we said already with Ashley and Morgan, like it's just really infuriating because Kelley doesn't actually have a game. Like this is Kelley's
No.
game. 90% of it is she goes and instigates some conflict,
Right.
and then she gets mad when people get mad at her for instigating conflict, and then she acts like, why are all these people saying these mean things to me? Like her whole campaign with Vince began with retelling the whole wine incident, which we talked about yesterday, to Vince and sort of being like, Rachel is awful. She's done all these things. And it's just like the only reason Rachel was not that nice to you was because you weren't that nice to her.
That's right. You have not been nice to people in the house.
Yes.
This is called consequences
Yes.
of your actions. If you are going to be rude to people, people are going to be rude to you or not talk to you. And that's the way that it is. I just think she's never going to really see it for what it is, that it's her actions that have caused this.
No.
Oh, dear God, please just let Kelley go home. I am so over this. Thank you. Like,
Yeah.
I can't deal with her anymore.
I'm-
She is not adding any fun, messy feeds. She's just a mean girl. She just needs to go. It's done.
Yeah, it's none of this gameplay is fun to watch because it's the same thing every single time. It's
Yes.
like the only strategic idea that she brought up here to Vince is this idea of like, okay, let's say hypothetically Katherine comes down and then it is me, Kelley versus Ava. I'm going to bring up the idea that I am willing to go at Rachel, and there's not a lot of other people out there that are willing to. And is Ava going to go at Rachel? Probably not. So people who are not afraid of this, they can keep me around and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's a good argument, but the problem is that she's making this argument to Vince, who is working with Rachel, and Kelley, you're not working with Vince anymore, and you haven't been working with Vince in a while. And I understand that you're on the block, so you're going to be campaigning to everybody, and you should be. And I'm glad that you are doing that, and you're
Yes.
talking to Vince, even though you're not with Vince anymore. But just the same, he's really not going to be here to hear this.
No, he's not. And he's not going to do anything to put his neck out for you at this particular
No.
point because he already knows because you specifically told him that you wanted to keep Keanu in the game over him.
Right.
It's like the moment you say that to anybody in the house, you're basically saying, okay, you know what? I don't want to go to the end with you. And that's even more problematic because once upon a time, they supposedly had a final two.
Yes.
So Vince has no reason to trust her. Yeah, Vince is a theoretical tiebreaker vote, but he's never going to break the tie in her favor. And beyond that, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that there's not a tie in the first place.
Yeah, and he really should because
Yeah.
he's had a week already where he's had to make decisions that he hasn't wanted to make. He's had to expose his game a little bit. I mean, there's a lot that's been going on here. If he has to actually break a tie, then it's really exposing his game.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. The only thing that Vince is going to do at this particular moment is just continue to steer Kelley in one particular direction here. And that direction is the direction of Rachel because, Vince is very smart. Vince recognizes Kelley has won multiple blockbusters at this point. She's up there with Katherine, who's won one competition, and Ava, who's won one competition.
Right.
She has a good chance at this. So he's basically doing whatever he can to sort of be like, it's Rachel's fault all this happens. Once again, making the argument that he felt threatened that he had to put Katherine on the block or else everybody else is going to be coming at him. And, who knows if Kelley really believes this. Like, even if she does believe it, she might just be like, okay, Vince, yeah, you did this, but this just makes you a weak person.
It's just interesting too, because while Vince is still part of the judges, didn't put Rachel up, any of this stuff, he has spent a good amount of time during his HOH handing Rachel the bus schedule to every other person in the house.
And that's what makes it really interesting of like, okay, what would Rachel do? Like, we've talked
Yes.
about this all week already. Like, I don't think Rachel would put him up right away because it's just getting rid of another big target, but like she's
Right.
going to at some point, probably a week, a couple weeks within jury, because that's just the smart thing to do at that point.
Absolutely. She needs to not go to the end with Vince. He is the only person that
Yeah.
might come close to beating her. If there are people in the jury, they're just like, I don't want to give Rachel 2 wins. I'd rather give it to someone who's brand new.
Yeah, and like I think at this point, the best thing for both Rachel and Vince in a way is just that these people that other players are gonna want to get rid of end up sticking around. Not necessarily Kelley. Kelley can go, but people are gonna want to get rid of Katherine. People are
Mhm.
gonna want to get rid of Keanu, who Mickey's out here, throwing an even bigger target on him, basically saying that he's not listening to any women in the house and trying to like rally numbers that way. So it's
Mhm.
just like, despite all of Vince's wishy-washiness and him hauling, that's a Southern term, over the past, like,
Well, you are Southern.
him hauling over the past, like, all this stuff over the past couple of days, like, it's really a situation where Keanu's being framed as a big target now, and
Yep.
it's like all these other people, and Vince may somehow slither his way out of this, maybe, depending on who the next HOH is.
Yeah, I mean, Vince has already done it once, so I mean, he could do this again.
All right. Well, the last thing to talk about here, and this is where we can actually talk a little bit about Ava playing, because last
Mhm.
night she proposed this idea that, okay, let's say that Kelley ends up being evicted this week.
Mhm.
How about we have some sort of final three that is Ava, Lauren, and Katherine? And while, Lauren's not an exactly exciting player to watch and Katherine
No.
is very frustrating, it's like, this is really smart for
Yes.
Ava, because this would be a group that can kind of perpetually play the middle and just let the bigger targets go at each other. And for Lauren, like, you need someone on your side who's not just Vince, because your game is basically, what does Vince want? What do I want to do that makes Vince happy?
Ava needs some numbers. She is not part of the judges. She does have will. She does have some good relationships with people.
Yes.
But here are 2 numbers over here that are kind of out here floating around as well with Katherine, with Lauren. This is a very smart idea to start just pulling numbers in any way that she can.
Yeah, it's really, really smart. And I mean, this could all be, depending on who the next few HOHs are, and we've seen this in past seasons as well, like a jury game where one big target goes after another big target, and then that process just repeats itself. And then we are ending up with a combination of like Ava, Will, Lauren, like these sort of players could
Mhm.
easily make it to the end. And like if they band together, that's really dangerous. It's just the thing is, there have been other players kind of constantly keeping them at arm's length from each other.
Absolutely. It is still very wild that we are at day 50 and Rachel's butt has not seen that block at all. I am telling you,
Yeah.
like, I understand that there are people like, oh, she's a huge target. We'll keep her
Yes.
around till later. And I totally get that strategy. But I've always said, and I would never be on Big Brother and I would never be a good player. I would never want to play a game with someone who has won the game or a
Yes.
past house guest. I walk into the house and there's Derek or there's Dan or there's
Yes.
Rachel. I'm going after them every single week, or they need to just get me out of the house. I don't want to play with them. I want to play with all new people, and I don't need a veteran there that's just, gonna roll over it. 50 days and no
Yes.
one has tried to get her out. Oh my
It's
God. Oh my God.
it's so crazy, and it's such a credit to her game. Yeah, you can also fault some of these people for just falling for this time and time again, but like, good on Rachel. And by the way, I would also be out very early because I feel like I would want to do the same thing most of the time. Like, it's not smart to keep returning players around. It's just, for whatever reason, whether they're starstruck, whether it's all the experience, like, they're always able to like get into these groups.
Always, they're always able to stay much longer than they should be staying. I've never really understood it. Like, for me, I want to go to the end with people that I'm okay sharing the money with, sort of thing. Like, oh, you're going to be in second place. I don't mind that you're going to get like a second place prize or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't want to give that to someone who's already won. And me on the jury, that's different. If it's somebody who's played the best game and it's Rachel and it's a 2-time win, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. But me as still a player in the game, I
Yes.
want to go to the end with people that I feel like actually deserve to be there. And she's already gotten to play.
Yeah, she's already gotten to play, and
she's playing with a bunch of new people.
Yes.
Like, we should all have a chance to find our footing, and it is very hard with, like you said, starstruck, a legend, a winner. Like, it's tough.
So that's where we are in our day 50 Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. But as always, we want to hear from you guys. Out of the 3 people who are on the block right now, who do you want to see evicted?
Kelley, let us know. Kelley?
Yeah,
Is it Kelley?
I feel like it's Kelley. I feel like this is one of the easier questions for us to answer, but it's like, let us know who you would want to send packing. And of course, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other Big Brother 27 coverage. And of course, be sure to support us further. Join our Patreon. That link is in the description. Thank you so much, as always, to those of you who have, and we will see you here next time.